years of job cuts and thousands of our colleagues losing their jobs, being made so-called redundant, it is increasingly difficult for us to continue to work in an organization, the so-called public broadcasting organization, where the bosses, the top 50 or top 100 bosses, make their salaries are so high in the sky, and people just feel it's beyond fairness in any way. And so that's why we called on this referendum, to show our anger, to show that this cannot continue.
Lots of journalists inside the BBC are very dissatisfied with Mark Thompson's leadership, especially over the licence fee, and that's because many people are absolutely astounded at the level of his salary, which is £834,000 a year when you include all the various bits of it. His salary should be linked with that of everyone else in the BBC. What we're saying is that the median salary in the BBC should be the basis for his salary. So we reckon it's somewhere in the £30,000 range, but Mark Thompson's salary and that of any senior BBC executive should never exceed 5 times that median value.
When you get up into senior management of the BBC, this here, some of their expenses claims for Caroline Thompson. This lot here is taxi expenses. It goes on for a couple of pages, more taxis. This is external business hospitality, going out for a drink. So you want to get somebody a present, Caroline, Jenna, whoever it is, you go and do that. Don't charge the public for it. It's ripping them off, it's ripping off the licence fee. It's very easy to make fun of the fat cats and their flower bills charged to expenses, but it is serious. There's a serious point to this. It's serious for the future of the BBC and for the trust that the public puts in public institutions, and therefore the public service journalism that we provide. If people outside in the real world think that everyone at the BBC earns the kind of money that Chris Boyles does, or Jonathan Ross does, or Mark Thompson does, then it doesn't make it any easier for us to put in pay claims when the Daily Mail and News International rubbishes the claims of the unions because it said that everybody earns that kind of money, when in fact most BBC workers, certainly outside of London, earn £30,000 a year or far less. It also makes it easier for this government and the next government to cut into the very formula that keeps the BBC on the air. That is unforgivable. So we demand fair funding for the BBC to support public service broadcasting, and we demand fair pay at the BBC, fair pay for everyone at the BBC. And so if the bosses want a big fancy business breakfast, or if they want to upgrade to first class because the train's full, which is another one of these claims, stick your hand in your pocket and pay for it like the rest of us. Stop squandering the licence fee.
What we're actually doing now is that, well, first we've got the support of the National Union, but also at the same time our members in the World Service News and Current Affairs Chapel are taking part in a referendum to actually emphasise that point, that Mark Thompson's salary shouldn't be more than 5 times the median, because what we're saying in our referendum question is that the way he's handled it has been so bad that he needs now to regain the trust and the confidence, not just of BBC staff, but of the general public, and that his behaviour and in fact the behaviour of this fat cat culture over the past few years inside the BBC has been immensely damaging. It's been so damaging that other people have been able to use it to attack the licence fee, which has been the cornerstone of the BBC's independence, and that is absolutely not acceptable.
Basically, what people who take part in this referendum are going to be expected to do is answer 2 questions. One is about the level of restructuring that they are prepared to accept, and what is the actual condition. And then the second one is to quantify this condition by way of saying, if we were to sit down and accept any cuts from here on, we are only going to accept it if senior managers led by the Director General are going to accept to limit their salaries as well. And that quantification is basically 5 times the median salary of whatever grades apply to these salaries. So basically, we are asking people to think about what is going to come their way and try to make them also think about the perception, the public perception of what we set out to do and what we do best, and that is journalism.